What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about DCEASED, War of the Undead Gods, written by Tom Taylor and art by Trevor Hairsine, Andy Lanning, and I think Rain Barreto, however you pronounce that. I apologize if I get that wrong. Working on the latest issue in the DC series. I do kind of wish I do hope that we get like some sort of spinoff like we did with the first DC series, because I feel like with Dead Planet and War of the Undead Gods, there's a lot that kind of happens and it just feels really kind of short. But at the same time, like compared to like what Tom Taylor writes in like the main universe, where a lot of stories kind of drag on a bit, like this moves at such a quick pace, and it's like, oh, I almost wish we could get just a little bit more. And like with this one, because there's so many characters showcased in this series, that's like you feel like not everyone gets all their time to shine, but when they do, the moments are pretty sweet. So DCeased, this issue takes place after the events of the previous one. Basically, Brainiac kind of came to Earth, Superman was brought back, and a lot of other heroes, and he came of a warning of the gods are coming. Basically, Darkseid and like a lot of the new gods characters, like he's leading an anti-life army to basically wipe out everyone in the entire universe. So the stakes have never been higher, and Brainiac needs Superman and kind of the remaining heroes and even like characters who would normally be more villainous to kind of team up and take out this threat, because his whole motivation is he's there to collect knowledge, and he can't collect anything if the universe dies with it, which makes sense given who Brainiac is. We got some stuff with Scott and Barda finding out what's going on there. Darkseid, we see how him and his little army have just wiped out literally everything in existence. Sinestro's brought in along with a few other characters to kind of like come in and do their thing. Brainiac offers Superman the lost city of Kandor as he means to like, hey, here's what you can do if you can help me out. And the best part of this entire issue, well, outside of the final fight with Sinestro and Darkseid, which has a very violent conclusion, which I enjoyed, is Guy Gardner in his conversation with Brainiac. Brainiac talks about himself being a 9th level intellect, and he's like, okay, like what makes you a 9th level intellect? Like, well, I made the list myself. And then his ego and just being an asshole is just on full display here. Is like, you're only a 9, and I'm an 11 on the Guy Gardner greatness scale, and the scale only goes up 6. That's just how good I am. I thought that was funny. I just you never really get to see somebody put Brainiac in their place like this. And I just think Guy Gardner just being such an asshole about the whole thing and just kind of like dealing with him in that capacity made for some really good, funny writing right here. The artwork is pretty good. The colors pop. The violence on display is really great here. We see Kara, who's succumbed to the anti-life equation, and all the chaos that's ensued, and Sinestro getting his seeing kind of the end of him. His daughter tries to do something, she's kind of emotional, and then boom, Darkseid rips his head clean off his body, and he gets to wield a yellow lantern ring. So yeah, Darkseid is seemingly going to be leading the yellow lanterns, and Darkseid in a lantern ring is just really, really cool. I'm surprised that ring's able to fit his finger, but maybe the ring expands or something like that. But him, Kara, and their little undead anti-life army getting ready to cause chaos on Earth. How's it all going to go down? How is this series going to conclude? Well, we only got 6 issues left, but DCeased, War of the Undead Gods, continues to be an entertaining series. My only complaint is that I wish it was a little bit longer, and maybe if we could have gotten like another spin-off series that kind of tells the 5-year time jump. There are still plot elements that have never been resolved in the DC series. I remember in Hope at World's End, there was that scene where Talia goes to take Stephanie Brown away and vows to kind of protect her, and we never really got a follow-up to that, so I hope Tom Taylor didn't forget about that. I know he writes an insane amount of books for DC, including like Elseworlds main universe stuff and whatever stuff going on, but I hope we get some sort of follow-up to that storyline. I'm hoping that that's brought back at some point, because if it's not brought back, I'm going to be very disappointed, because it's something I feel like we should have gotten. So yeah, that's still going to be something that's going to kind of bug me until that's kind of brought up again, because that was all the way back in Hope at World's End, like the first kind of spin-off series of DC. So, well, there was Unkillables in that, but that's a storyline that's never really been addressed. So I'm hoping that Tom Taylor is able to maybe acknowledge it at some point. But if he doesn't, that's going to be a slight disappointment for me, because I was still curious to know what was going to happen with that, if this is only like a few issues left in DC's War of the Undead Gods. Maybe he's going to bring it back, and that's a means to bring back like the other remaining heroes, but only time will tell. I thought this was a pretty solid issue. showcasing the various characters within the DC universe and the universal threat that's on display here. Artwork is pretty cool. Darkseid just being an unstoppable, uncontrolled, hulking monster and ripping Sinestro's head clean off his body, I thought was pretty awesome. And just the violence on display here is pretty entertaining, and just it's pretty graphic in some capacity, at least for a DC Comics book. But I like seeing it. Sometimes I like villains just going ham and just annihilating everything in sight. What can I say? I like violence. I really do, in media. So I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this issue. It's kind of weird. I feel like Elseworlds Tom Taylor and Main Universe writing Tom Taylor are two completely different writers, because his Elseworlds stuff is usually really good. Yeah, there might be a slight hiccup in here, but they move at a much faster pace. The stakes are higher. Maybe it's just because it doesn't have to drag out a story as compared to writing an ongoing. But with like a Main Universe thing, it doesn't feel off. I don't know what it is. There's like a total disconnection. It almost feels like two different people are writing. So Elseworlds Tom Taylor, thumbs up. Main Universe, so at times. Sometimes can be good, sometimes can be pretty bad. But like I said, the Elseworlds stuff with Tom Taylor is usually pretty good, and I think if you've been reading DCeased and have enjoyed it from the beginning, you're still going to enjoy this issue overall. But yeah, those are my quick thoughts on it. If you read the issue, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications. I think that's all I got to say for right now. Got more videos coming out later on today. So until next time, as always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace. Oh yeah, I got World's Finest, Flash, and then Dark Crisis, Young Justice. So look forward to those. All right, bye-bye.